Hi everyone, I am Dr. Gopi Krishnan, Associate Professor from the Department of Aerospace Engineering, SNS College of Technology, Coimbatore. Today I am going to take the topic titled as metal casting. The casting process is one of the most traditional and most conventional methods of manufacturing process. The casting process in which the metal or the material is obtained as the final product can be called as a metal casting. If the molding sand is used for the creation of the metal cast products, the process can be called a sand casting process. This is going to be the overview of the sand casting process. Sand casting process is the most widely used process, accounting for a significant majority of total tonnage cast. Any kind of metal, alloy, or the composite materials can be sand casted. The metals like steel, copper, nickel, or the high density materials, they can also be casted using this process. The materials such as titanium, aluminum, or the lightweight materials, these materials can also be cast, and also the alloys of the high density materials and the low density materials can also be sand casted. So the materials of any type with any density can be manufactured through this sand casting process. The castings can be from a single component, a small component, or to a very large component. A small component can be in the range of 5 mm diameter to a very large casting which is used for the high-end applications such as castings used in the ship industry or the mechanical industries. The production quantities can be from 1 to millions. One large product can also be produced, or a tiny millions of products can also be produced using the sand casting process. This is going to be one of the examples of the sand cast components. The sand casting shown here in the picture is with respect to the industrial pump. This is going to be a component which is a cover to the industrial pump. The pump is going to be the component which sucks the liquid from one place to another place using the pressure energy. The pump can be covered using the metal which is manufactured from the metal casting process. And after manufacturing this metal cover, the holes and the surfaces can be machined to get a high degree of accuracy. These are the various steps in the sand casting process. We know that sand casting process is going to be the process which is used right from the olden days for the manufacture of any kind of component, either in the large quantities or the small quantities, and either from the small dimensions to the larger dimensions. To produce the sand casting process, we have to follow a few steps here. The steps are: pour the molten material into the sand mold. Sand mold is going to be the provision that is made over the molding sand, and the provision is called as cavity. The cavity resembles the final component which we desire to get from the final casting process. That is step number one. Step number two, we have to allow the time for the material to solidify. So the liquid material is poured into the metal cavity, and after some time, the material loses its temperature through the molding sand or through the temperature in the surroundings, and it starts solidifying. That is step number two. Step number three, after the solidification is completed, break up the mold to remove the casting. The final product obtained after the solidification process is called as the casting, and also this process is also called as a casting process. Step number four, after removing the casting from the sand molding, we can always expect some kind of impurities or the irregularities with respect to the microstructure over the surfaces of the cast product. Those impurities and inadequacies must be cleaned and inspected. So that is the step number 4. We have to go for two kinds of systems called the gating system and the riser system. Gating system is one of the systems that is used in the casting process to regulate the molten material into the metal cavity, and riser is going to be another kind of system which is used to fill all the cavity provided inside the molding stand. And after solidification, due to the shrinkage process of the solidified material, a small amount of a small volume of molten material will be used inside the metal cavity. To make up for the metal, the riser system is always attached with the molding and the casting process. Step number 5, heat treatment of the casting is sometimes required to improve the metallurgical properties. That is taken to a separate process called heat treatment process. This is going to be the procedure or the sequence used for the sand casting production process. In the earlier slide, we saw the various steps of metal melting and obtaining the final metal casting. That is going to be one of the process. Raw material is taken and it is melted to get the molten material. Then it is poured inside the cavity in the molding sand. After allowing some time, due to the cooling process, the solidification happens, and after getting the final solid casting, the metal is removed from the sand mold. Then the cleaning and inspection process will be taken place. And in the due course, the sand, which is called a molding sand, has to be prepared, and this molding sand must have certain properties that are required for assisting the metal casting process. The sand has to be prepared accordingly, and it is taken to the mold making process. The process mold making is the creation of the mold cavity over its volume. The volume or the cavity, which is also called a mold cavity, it resembles like the final component we desire to produce using the casting process. Also, there is going to be another process which is called as a core making process. The core making process is very similar to the sand molding process. The clear distinction between the sand molding and the core making is that the core is used to make the holes or the provisions at the center of the casting product. For example, if you want to make a complete solid product, we cannot require the core material, whereas if we are asked to produce a component which has a central hole, we have to place a core material which resembles like the central hole, and we have to make the core and we have to place it inside the metal cavity, inside the cavity. So pattern is also one of the very important components of the casting process, which is used for the creation of the final product, and pattern is the replica of the final product we require. We have to place the pattern with a slight amount of pressure inside the molding sand so that we can obtain the impression of the pattern. And after giving a light amount of pressure, the material can be taken out. The pattern material can be taken out. And after taking out the pattern material, the molding sand gets its impression, it gets the exact shape of the pattern. And through this mold cavity only, we are going to produce the final casting process. Now we come to the pattern. The pattern is the full-sized model of the part, slightly enlarged to account for the shrinkage and machining elements in the casting. We can take any kind of materials for the production of pattern, we can take wood, metal or the plastic. Out of the three components, the most widely used material is the wood pattern because it is very easy to work and it warps. Metal is also used as the pattern material, but due to its high cost, it is more expensive to fabricate. But the metal pattern, it lasts longer so that it can be replaced in the places that cannot be used for the wood pattern materials. Plastic materials can also be used as the pattern materials, but it has to be used in a place which gives a higher compromise between wood and metal pieces. So this is going to be the component which is called as the core. So this component is going to be very similar to the molding sand, which is placed inside the mold cavity. And this is all about the mold cavity is the final component we need to create. And the final component you are creating resembles like this component. And see, this component has a central hole in its body. So what happens here is that we need to create the central hole here by means of placing the core inside the mold cavity. And the material is poured inside the component, and due to the presence of core, the material cannot fill this place. So what happens here is that after the solidification and removal of the final casting process, we obtain the material with the central hole as seen in the picture. We already mentioned that the molding sand which is used for the production of the casting materials in this manufacturing process must have certain properties. And these are the few important properties which are desirable for getting the good final output in the casting process. The material, the molding sand must have a good strength to maintain the shape and resist erosion, and there must be a good permeability between the molding sand to allow the hot air and gases to pass through the voids in sand. The thermal stability of the molding sand must be also in a good manner to resist the cracking on contact with the molten metal. After the process is over, the molding sand has to regain its original shape. So that is called as the collapsibility, which is the ability to give way and allow casting to shrink without cracking the casting. The material has to be reused, which is called as reusability. The sand from the broken mold can be reused for a number of times. These are the very important desirable mold properties which are required for the molding sand for getting a very sound casting. So with this, we have seen the basic introduction about the casting process. We'll see the rest of the casting process in the subsequent slides. Stay tuned. Thank you everyone.